Now, the cool thing about this accessory, it's really super simple. There's, no adhesive, there's no magnets, and the setup is pretty straightforward. So yeah, what you basically do is you hook one side of the corner on the tablet, and then you stretch it across, and then you hook the other side, and that's pretty much it. I would say the installation takes no more than 10 to 15 seconds, if that. Yeah, and once it was attached, it really felt really secure. I never really felt like the iPad would slip out of my hand, which, to be honest, was one of my main concerns. Yeah, because the last thing I wanted to is drop this expensive iPad on the floor, which definitely could be a huge, expensive mistake. Now, one of the things I really like about this holder is the adjustable Velcro strap. I think it really changes the experience as opposed to you're holding your iPad on the side of its bezels. Your hand kind of rests naturally behind it. And it actually makes the iPad feel lighter to hold, especially when you're using it one-handed. So yeah, if you're on your iPad, reading, or you're on Netflix or YouTube or FaceTime, or if you're, doom scrolling, whatever you're doing, it just makes the experience more enjoyable. And if you have big hands like me, there's enough wiggle room for adjustment in the strap to fit almost any hand, particularly with someone like big hands like myself. Now, there were a couple of things that I do wish were better. The actual rotating grip, it kind of spins around freely, which sounds like a benefit of this accessory. But at some point when you're using it, it almost feels like you're trying to steer your car. So that's not something I would say is a deal breaker, but definitely something I wanted to point out. Now, I will say there is some resistance, but I wish there was more resistance, or maybe some sort of locking mechanism to keep your iPad in one position when you're actually using it. Also, and I'm kind of nitpicking here, the corners actually, it covers the display just by a little bit. I mean, the bezels on the iPad, at least the iPad 11-inch, they're very thin. So just wanted to point that out as well. I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker, but it's definitely something to keep in mind, and I wanted to point out to you guys. Now, one thing that I think would have made this accessory perfect, if there was a place maybe on the elastic band to slip in your Apple Pencil. I think a lot of us who have iPads probably have an Apple Pencil. So I think this would have definitely been a bonus. I know there's a lot of you guys that don't have an Apple Pencil, but I think just having that would have added a little bit more value. And I think I probably would have paid a couple extra bucks for that. Now, this doesn't just work for the iPad Pro. It works for, tablets between 9 and 11 inches. So for your Kindles, your Galaxy tabs, what else is out there? Your Android tablets, this should actually work. Just make sure it's between a 9 and 11-inch frame itself. Now, in terms of the build quality, this strap, it feels really nice. It feels premium. The Velcro is extremely strong, and it just feels well built. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart at any moment. Now, one other nice thing, it comes in a lot of different colors. I went with black because I'm pretty boring, but it comes in blue. It comes in magenta. It comes in green, and it also comes in this like floral pattern that kind of reminds me of like wallpaper at my grandmother's house.